Alright guys, how you doing? So in this video we're going to be putting a new servo in the Transit right here because as you can see the old one kind of crapped the bag. It's some plastic geared bullcrap servo. So this one looks like it's metal geared, but I don't know, I kind of found one on Amazon that would work because you can't find the actual parts for these Chinese RC cars, but whatever, we'll try to make it work. I also got another ESC for the Wltoys 12428 across thing. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so sorry for the crappy position, but I have terrible lighting and there's nowhere else for me to really put this RC car, hence why it's on this chair. So I'm going to take this servo out. I have actually taken this servo apart and moved the main gear over so it would work, but you know, that's also stripped out. So yeah, this servo is pretty much done. Alright, so we got both servos side by side. That's a new one, that's the old one. From a first glance, they look pretty much exactly the same. There are a few differences, like the screws going on the top, and you know, just, I don't know, they're just a tiny bit different. I think this one's more plasticky. I think this one might be a slightly upgraded version. I put a link down below to it if you're interested. Also, the cable's a lot longer. The biggest thing I paid attention to while picking out the servo is making sure the plugins were the same, and they look pretty much exactly the same. Okay, to escape the dark room of the garage, I've decided to move outside on the hood of my truck to get better lighting. All right, so to test to make sure this thing's gonna work, I'm gonna go in and plug in the battery and plug this. I don't know which way it goes around. Seems to be working, so I'm gonna go in and put the servo horn back on and then we'll take it for a spin. The endpoint adjustments need to be adjusted, but there's no possible way I can do it on this controller, so it's just gonna have to be like this for now, but I'm just glad it worked. And so yeah. Well, let's put her in low range and see how it is. All right, so the steering on this feels a lot better. However, it does not have a servo saver. It does feel faster, a little bit stronger. So the off-road lawnmower seems to go up this and this no problem. This RC car should be able to do it no problem as well. All right, y'all, so it's a couple of days later, and I've actually cleaned up this nuclear explosion bullcrap. It's not perfect, but it's much better than what it was before. So I got a lot of this old stuff. This is actually some vintage oil that I have just laying around. That's transmission fluid down there. So let me know if you think we should run this in the motorized bike. I'd be pretty interested in order to find out. The ESC for this is supposed to come a couple weeks later, so you know, by the time you see the next clip, I'll get the ESC and we'll put it in this car. So I'll see you then.
What's all this sprinkling?
Sprinkling all day on me.
I said it takes us about an hour. I said, and if you have one that all right, they did. I wanted it on one page.
Wasn't enough. You got every one on.
And I said, take care of. And then she can't keep her stuff right. I mean, Miss, what's her name? His mama.
Yeah.
She was like,
All right, y'all, so I'm driving this thing around and it sounds like it's fixing to sling a rod and blow all the pieces. I don't know if you can hear that noise, but it just sounds like the most plasticky grinding gears of death. That's just mainly the pinion and spur gear. And plus the gears are starting to kind of strip a little bit. I've tightened up the mesh, which is also why it's making a lot of noise, but the mesh was set perfectly before. But yeah, I'm just kind of walking around. Just driving this thing around because there ain't nothing else to do. I would be riding the motorized bike, but I've already gotten pulled over twice by the ranger or DNR officer. The first one was actually like, wow, man, that's really cool. How fast does it go, blah, blah, blah. And I told him everything. He seemed fine with it. And I also asked him, how loud is it? He said it wasn't really that loud. This is after I've done the muffler modification. I'll put a link to that video down below. And I was riding it slow through the campground. I had another officer pull over and tell me, speed limit's only 15 miles an hour. You can't go that fast. As you can see, speed limit in this area is only 15 miles an hour. And I was like, okay, yes, sir. And he just let me go. So I guess I can't ride too fast around the campground because I have gotten pulled over before for running 30 at a 15. And he just let me off on a warning, which was kind of hilarious, but you know, it's kind of funny. Let's see if this car's gonna make it up this obstacle real quick. Yeah, you can hear that gearbox. Yeah, the gears in this thing is done. And I was hoping to get the Wltoys running, but you know, that stupid ESC or whatever don't want to bind to my controller, so it's a slightly different one, but I thought it would work, but apparently it won't. So I'm gonna have to get another one and bind it, which is just whatever, because I really do miss that thing. That thing is a lot of fun to drive. And obviously the Transit, I got the servo fixed, and now the gears are starting to screw up on me. That guy back there on the golf cart, that was one of the officers that pulled me over on the bike, and now I'm driving my RC car. He was asking how much this bike kits are, and they're about $130, so depending on where you buy it, you can get them on eBay pretty cheap. So yeah, I'm gonna keep walking around here, maybe try to find some women in the campground that are somewhat interested in me and RC cars or whatever. I do like this car, has headlights on it, but it's just stupidly loud for an RC car. I mean, it's like I'm driving a dang nitro car around. The thing just sounds like a diesel every time I'm getting on it. But you know what? It's a Chinese $100 RC car. It is what it is. This has been pretty good for about 4 years now. And I think it's time that I kind of upgrade from the Chinese RC cars. Check it out, guys. We are up here at Stone Mountain. I think it would be the perfect place to bring the RC car, because I mean, people bring RC cars on top of Stone Mountain. it out, guys. All right, so we are in a campsite here. I found an empty camp slot, and we're gonna see how good this thing's gonna crawl.
Alright, he's got it. The crowd's chanting right now. Juan set himself up here. Check this out. Oh, crowd while he was upside down. Because he wanted to hear some more noise from Lance. Check it out, Lance. Yo, Lance throwing down. So we need to hear that noise up a little bit. Christian's right behind him. Check it out. Excellent backflip from Christian. Nicely done.
We're back here at this rock crawling thing again. And we're gonna do some crawling. All right, so we are in a low range. And I hear the gear stripping, which is great. And guys, as you can see, the gears in this thing are almost gone, which is why I got to keep this thing in low range in order to drive anywhere, because high range, it just puts so much load on the gears, it just wants to strip. So first thing on the list when I get back to the house is order a Traxxas TR Explorer unassembled kit edition, because I want something good. I'm tired of relying on Chinese stuff, even though this has lasted a good while. It's time for me to get a proper crawler. I was kind of thinking about getting the Sport Edition, but personally, I like bells and whistles and locking and unlocking diffs and 2-speed transmission, and plus it has TQI radio, all that stuff. So for me, the Traxxas TR Explorer regular is going to be the better value. All right, guys, so I've walked over about a mile with this RC car, and you know, this thing's about done. So you bet it. You can cut my car.
It's spicy.
Oh yeah. There's a group of girls back there. I don't know if you can see them, but I was recording a YouTube video just right there, and they were like, "What's your YouTube channel?" I'm like, so I told them, and they might be watching my stuff. I don't know. Maybe they might have some interest in RC cars. We'll find out. All right, y'all, so that's gonna be it for this video. We're now leaving. I'm gonna cut the video off here because it's way too long now. There'll also be a video on the motorized bike coming up soon, probably before or after this video. So yeah, hope you liked this video. If you did, click all the other buttons on YouTube say to click. If you didn't like this video, click the thumbs down twice, because 2's better than 1. 3 more doesn't work. That doesn't count for likes, as we all know. And yeah, y'all should see me in the next one.